think is the most valuable skill you could teach your children?
Love.
Public speaking.
Willpower. Humanity.
How to save money.
Willpower.
Anybody else?
How to think.
All great answers. Let's find out. It all started about more than 10 years ago for me, when my mother, Smita, taught me this very skill. Mathematics was definitely not it. Mathematics wasn't exactly my cup of tea, but luckily I ended up with a teacher who made our final exam identical to the previous one. Imagine my relief. In fact, imagine the entire classroom's relief, except for one girl's, Tulsi, who lived right next door to me. In front of Tulsi's porch, I asked with great enthusiasm, "Wasn't that the easiest exam ever?" To which Tulsi replied reluctantly, "Actually, mine didn't go very well. I think I might have flunked it." "Are you kidding me?" I said. "That was really the easiest exam ever." "How dumb do you have to be to flunk the easiest exam ever?" said her brother. And together we laughed at Tulsi. Fellow Toastmasters and fellow math-haters, this is when my life changed, because little did I know that there was Smita, my mother, overhearing this conversation from our porch. As soon as I walked into our house, Smita stopped me and asked, "So why were you laughing at Tulsi?" "But Mom, it was really an easy exam." "It might be so, but you must remember," Smita said, "not everyone can find the same things easy. Tulsi might do better than you at social studies. Now how would you feel if she laughs at you?" That day, Smita taught me empathy. Ever since then, I began paying attention to the things Smita said to empathize with others. This is what I call the Smita effect. "I can imagine how hard it is," Smita would say. Or, "I feel your pain." Or, "You know, I've never done that, but I have been rude before. I can relate to that." Soon, empathy became my new language, and the Smita effect my way of life. It was easy to define empathy. Taking perspective is empathy. Staying out of judgment, or relating to other people's emotions and communicating them. In essence, empathy is feeling with people. Easy to define, but difficult to practice. My life was pretty awesome after I acquired this new skill, but I couldn't understand why Smita got empathy and others didn't. Until one day, when my little cousin came over to play. Within seconds, she looked into my eyes and said, "Are you sad? You look sad." And that's when it hit me. Empathy is our default setting. My 5-year-old cousin had the magical ability to look at me and sense how I might feel. Empathy is our default setting. No wonder I got this queasy feeling when laughing at Tulsi. Empathy is our default setting, but it must be practiced. It is a natural emotional recognition that babies are born with. When a new mother feels distressed, her baby tries to comfort her by making soothing sounds, or cries with her when she cries. And that's because there is a part in the baby's brain that lights up when the baby recognizes other people's pain. Empathy is a default setting, but as babies grow older, very few of them are encouraged or taught to recognize or practice this default setting. Very few of them get to witness empathy in their childhood. Let me give you an example. You get home after a long, exhausting day, and your spouse is giving you attitude. What do you say? Honey, I am exhausted and not in the mood for this right now. Can we do this later? Or if you get this queasy feeling that I did, you might say, you're in a bad place, huh? So how about a glass of wine? Or do you say, do you take a moment to go to that dark place with your spouse and say, honey, I see that you're frustrated. I know it can be overwhelming. I know what it's like to feel stuck. Can we talk about it? Or let's say you get home and your kid starts complaining about not having that gaming console he's been asking for the 50th time. Do you say, kid, I'm exhausted. And if you keep asking for this console, that's the last thing you're gonna get. Or do you take a moment to feel with your kid? Sit down with them and say, I know it's hard to not have everything your friends have. I know it's hard to not have everything you want. Can you tell me why you want it so badly and what you're willing to do to earn it? Empathy is our default setting, but it must be practiced. Because if we practice empathy, so will our kids. Let's remember, let's not just practice empathy because we're humans, but that we are human because we have empathy. So next time you're distressed or someone's distressed, what would you remember? Empathy is a default setting and it must be practiced.